Hello students, today in this lecture we are going to learn a new chapter. We'll start with new chapter students, and this chapter name is energy flow in ecosystem students. So let us start with the chapter energy flow in ecosystem. In this chapter, in this today's lecture, we are going to basically talk about food chain and food wave students. Food chain and food wave. Whenever we start with the lecture, in the starting you will get there are few questions are there in your textbook. So here in this chapter also we are having few questions when you will see your textbook students. So let's see what is there in textbook students. See, when we will see first question in your textbook, we are having question, what is meant by ecosystem? What is meant by ecosystem? This question is there in your textbook students. So here let us start with the ecosystem. An ecosystem is a large community of living organisms. Students, when we'll talk about ecosystem is a large community of living organisms. Students, of living organisms. Now when we are talking about living organisms, these living organism may be plant, it may be a animal, it may be a microbe in a particular area, so if I have to define ecosystem, I will define it as a ecosystem is a large community of living organisms in a particular area. So this is definition of our ecosystem. Now we'll talk about ecosystem in detail. Before we'll continue with ecosystem, I'll show you what is ecosystem. See here, one ecosystem is shown over here in this area. In this area, when you will see living organisms are there. Here you can see squirrel is there, eagle is there, swan is there, students, fish is there, frog is there. Living organisms, when you will see plants are there. When plants are green, plants are there, students. Not only plants, when you will see snake is shown here, students. Snake is there, python is there, students. So here when you will see, when you will talk about ecosystem, here when one small list is made here: sunlight, insects, animals, bacteria, plants, rocks, minerals, soil, planktons, fungi, protozoans, algae. These all, when they will come together, it may be living thing or non-living thing. They come together to form a ecosystem, students. It is in a particular area. So this is ecosystem, students. Now you have idea about ecosystem. What is ecosystem? We saw the definition of ecosystem, that it is a large community of a living organisms. It may be a plant, animal and microbes in a particular area, students, in a particular area. So we know what is ecosystem. Let's go ahead, students. The living and physical components are linked together through the nutrient cycle and energy flow. Ecosystem are any size. Ecosystem may be of small size or it may be a big size, students. When we are talking about whole earth itself is a ecosystem, so it is a big size. When we'll talk about a small area, so it is a small ecosystem. So ecosystem may be a small, it may be a big, students, but usually they are in particular places, students. So this is about ecosystem, students. Now here when you will see, we are having a word energy flow and nutrient cycle. So we are going to talk about energy flow and nutrient cycle, students. So let's go ahead, students. When you will see here in the starting only, when you will see your textbook, students, we have already learned the classification of living organisms according to the mode of the nutrition into producers, consumers, saprophytes and decomposers, students. Consider the various trophic levels of the ecosystem around you as given below. So here we are going to talk about different trophic levels, students. What happens, students, when we are talking about food? When we are talking about food is produced by producers. That means green plants, students. They are autotrophics. They prepare their food by their own. They are having green pigment with them in their leaves, and name is chlorophyll, students. Chlorophyll is there in chloroplast is there in green plants, students. So here green plants, what they do, they use the solar energy. In presence of solar energy, with the help of chloroplast, they prepare the food, and that food is stored in them in different parts of the plants. It may be a leaf, it may be a root, it may be a stem, it may be a root, it may be a fruit. So these all parts, in these parts the food is getting stored. Now what happens, students, this herbivorous, This herbivorous, basically herbivorous are those animals who eat the green plants only. The green plants only, who are completely dependent on green plants, are called as herbivores. In human being, if someone is pure vegetarian, then we can say that the person is herbivores. Now next, let us continue with the next level. Next level is secondary consumers. Secondary consumers are those who are dependent on primary consumers. Primary consumers are the herbivores, those who are dependent on producers, students. First we are talking about producers, autotrophs, and on autotrophs who are dependent primary consumers. Herbivores are dependent on primary consumers, or herbivores are dependent on autotrophs, that are green plants. Now later on, when we'll talk about secondary consumers, they are carnivorous. They kill those herbivores and they eat them. Example is frog. What they do, they eat insects. What they do, they eat. For example, if I'll talk about grasshopper is a herbivorous. Grasshopper eats the green plants. At the same time, frog eats the grasshopper. So frog is a secondary consumer. Next, these secondary consumers are eaten by the apex consumers. Apex consumers are, that means they are big, and they are dependent on these secondary consumers. These secondary consumers, not only these secondary consumers but also primary consumers, are also killed by these apex consumers, and they kill both primary consumer and secondary consumer, and they eat both. So here apex consumer eats both secondary consumer also and primary consumer also. So here it is called as apex consumers. Now apex consumers are not eaten by anyone. No one eats them. When they die, they are decomposed by the microorganisms. Their body decay and mix with the soil, and the nutrients are returned to the soil, students. Now one more category is there when we are talking about food, and that category is omnivorous, students. What is omnivorous? Omnivorous are those who are mixed consumers. Now what is mixed consumer? When we'll talk about mixed consumer, for example, when we'll talk about human being itself, human beings are vegetarian also, non-vegetarian also. That means they kill the animals and they eat, and not only animals but also they grow the crops and they eat the green crops also. It may be a rice, it may be a dal, it may be a fruit, it may be a green vegetable. So the human being, they eat green plants also, that means autotrophs also, and that animals also. So here they are called as mixed consumers, and they are omnivores, they eat both. So here this is about food system, food, how we are dependent on each other, how we are connected to each other, students, how we are connected to each other. Now we are going to continue with food chain and food web. So first I'll explain you what is food chain, and then I'll talk about food web, students. Then I'll talk about food web. So let us start with food chain, students. When we'll talk about food chain, when we are talking about food chain, students, interactions goes on continuously between the producer, consumer, and saprophytes. Interactions go on continuously between producers, consumers, and saprophytes. How they are connected, I'll explain you, students, how interaction is there. When we'll talk about sun, from sun we are getting solar energy, and this solar energy is utilized by the green plants. They prepare their food with the help of solar energy, and this food is stored in different parts of the plants. It may be a stem, it may be a root, it may be a leaf, it may be a fruit. Different parts of the plants, this food is getting stored. Now this stored food is eaten by the herbivores. Here example of herbivore is grasshopper. Now this grasshopper is eaten by frog eats the grasshopper, and later on python eats the frog, and this python becomes the food of the eagle. Later on, when eagle is a top level, is a top consumer, students, and when eagle dies, body of eagle is decomposed by the decomposers, or we can say microorganisms, by microorganisms. So here we can say interactions are going on, students. Interactions are going on here. Interactions are going on, students. This is only, it is written over here. Interaction go on continuously between the producers, consumers, and saprophytes. There is a definite sequence in these interaction, which is called the food chain, students, which is called the food chain. So here you will define there is a definite sequence in these interaction, which is called the food chain. So you must have idea about food chain. Now this is a food chain, students. Let us talk about few food chains, students. When you will see here, there are many food chains are connected, interconnected with each other. See here, it was a simple diagram. It was a simple diagram of food chains, students. Now suppose 2 3 food chains are together. When we'll see in this diagram, here corn is eaten by grasshopper. This grasshopper becomes the prey, becomes the food of the rat and frog, and later on this rat and frog is eaten by python. So here we are having one connection. Later on, when we'll talk about flower and lavender, here butterfly is dependent on these two. Now this butterfly is eaten by frog, and not only frog, by dragonfly. Now here later on this frog, we know what happens with frog. It becomes the prey of python, but this dragonfly, it will be the prey of the thrush, or it will be the prey of the uh, frog. So it means that this dragonfly will be eaten by either frog or by the thrush. So here there are three chains we saw at the same time. Now when we'll talk about mangroves, on these mangroves, fruit fly is dependent on mangroves. This fruit fly again becomes the food of um, frog, and if it is not eaten by frog, sometimes it is eaten by thrush. So this is one again food chain. When this thrush is there, whereas this thrush, wolf eats the thrush, and this thrush is also eaten by eagle. Now here, this all, thrush, wolf, rat, python, this all, when they die, eagle will eat this all. So students, here when you will see this food, there are many food chains, and they are interconnected with each other. And when you will draw the energy flow diagram, you will get a wave, and this wave is called as energy food wave, students. This is called food wave. So you must have understood what is food wave and food chain. Food chain we have already studied. Each chain consists of 4 to 5 or more links. An ecosystem consists of many food chains that are interacted at various level, is called as food wave, students. It's called as they form food wave, students. The food wave is will be formed, students. So here you must have understood what is food wave and food chain. Next, when we'll talk about trophic level, what is trophic level? Each level in food chain is called as trophic level, students. Each level in food chain is called trophic level. When we'll talk about here, this diagram here, first tropic level is here from the grasshopper is at first tropic level, frog is at second tropic level, python is on third tropic level, and food here eagle is on the topmost apex, is a apex consumer, is at the top of the food pyramid, or it is at the top, students. It is at the top. So here when we are talking about trophic level, each level in the food chain is called as trophic level. Each level in the food chain is called as trophic level, students. The trophic level is the step at which the organism obtains its food in the chain, students. A trophic level is the step at which the organism obtain their food in the chain, students. The amount of matter and energy gradually decreases from producer at lowest level to the top consumer at the highest level. How it decreases, I'll tell you, students. First, energy is produced by producers, students. In ecosystem, food is prepared by the green plants. They are called as autotrophs or producers, students. Later on, these producers are eaten by herbivores. When they eat herbivores, what do you think, students? The food, whatever it is prepared, it is given to herbivores. Herbivores can take all food? No, students. Whatever food is prepared, some part of the food is utilized by the green plant, students. They utilize the prepared food for their growth, for their living, different activities. So here, they use some part of the food. Whatever food is left is stored in their different parts. It may be a leaf, it may be a stem, it may be a root, it may be a fruit. The remaining, whatever left energy amount of food is there, is stored, students. Now this stored food is eaten by the herbivores. When they eat, when the herbivores, they eat the green plants, they take those food, students. Now whatever food they consume, some part of the food is utilized by those herbivores, students. Those herbivores, they do different living, different life processes, different activities daily, and they utilize the food. Whatever food is left is stored in their body, and in this way, when the carnivores, they eat the herbivores, the food, whatever left amount of food is in their body, is transferred to the next level, carnivorous. And from carnivorous, when it is transferred to the omnivorous. Again here, some part of the food is utilized for different life activity performed by them, and whatever left energy is transferred to the omnivorous. So students, when energy transfers from bottom to top, what happens? The energy reduces. The food energy reduces. Why? Because some part of the food is used at different levels. When it goes up, it's reduces, students. It's reduces. Why? It is used by some part of energy is used by each tropic level. In each tropic level, by different organisms. It may be a herbivorous, carnivorous, or omnivorous. So when energy transfers from bottom to top level, it decreases, students. Here, one name is there. That name is Charles Elton, a British scientist, first proposed the concept of ecological pyramid in 1927, students. Hence this pyramid is also called as Eltonian pyramid. So in exam, if it is asked about Eltonian pyramid, you will not be confused, students. You will not be confused. You will make sure you are attending the this properly, students. So for today, thank you, students. I'll stop here only, and we'll continue with the chapter in next video, students. For today, I'll stop my video here only, and i I will continue the lecture in next video. It will come very soon, and I'll say thank you for watching today's video. If possible, make sure that you will subscribe the channel, so that next time you'll not have to search for the videos. It will reach to you directly, students. Thank you, students. Thank you very